I got you.
Good, good. Yeah, man. Definitely. It's your boy Mod from the Know It Alls podcast. Also, we are DC4L. We are Dallas Cowboys for life. Another one, FFSN podcast, Cowboys Global Talk. So we get it in, man. We talk everything Cowboys, man. And then also do the Know It Alls. So the Know It Alls is kind of like what you're doing. We talk about our sports, man. We talk about our sports. So I'm well versed in a little bit of everything. And with a name like the Know It Alls, of course, you know I would be. You
know. Well, dude, it's happy to have you. Eric just said 400. Does that mean? Does that mean we just? Did we just pass 400?
Somebody hit it up. Somebody hit it up.
Wow. Okay. We've crossed over 400 enough to where two of you texted your buddies, and now we're at 401. This is really awesome. Trevor giving us the number update, just like the Jamal Murray update. Again, 2 Points Podcast. 401. Let's go, guys.
Love it.
The fact that we just started week 11 today, and we're at we just crossed over the 400 bear. Like, that's not a number. That's not an metric or whatever. It's just, it means a lot to see that this project and this, conglomeration that you guys are supporting, we've put together. It means a whole lot. I'm going to try not to get sappy. Trevor saying, shout out Gerard Mayo, baby. We'll talk NFL when Shane comes in about 10 minutes. But Ahmad, I want to talk to you about this Cowboys game. But first, before the game started, at 4:25, we saw Tom Brady's debut. Dak Prescott got paid the big bucks. Highest paid player in NFL history. I called it on Dad and the Boys. Drops Tuesday and Fridays here at noon. We called it. I said Dak's going to get paid before this season starts. And he did. Just a few hours before that deadline. Deadlines make deals. Were you happy with this contract?
Absolutely. I mean, you got to think about this. First and foremost, congratulations on your 400, right? Congratulations on your 400. You don't have fans, you got family, and you got 400 family members. Love it. But for this whole thing, I told people that CeeDee Lamb would be signed before we came out of training camp. That happened. I said, now Dak may play midway through the year without a deal, but I say he's going to get one. Here's the reason why. 4 years, $240 million extension. Keep that in mind. CeeDee Lamb got an extension. Keep that in mind. Why is that important? Dak cleared up $20 million in the cap. CeeDee $15 million worth of cap. Who are we about to sign? Have to sign next?
Michael Parsons.
So you have to get this money out of the way. We're actually going to be fifth in salary cap in 2026. Sixth in salary cap coming up next year. So we freed up a lot of money, right? And not only did we free up a lot of money, the thing that I love about this signing is you got a young nucleus with a different heartbeat on defense. And I'm going to tell you, I was telling somebody this today. They were like, oh, same old Cowboys, same old. I was like, no. It's a different outfit in the room. See, it's one thing. Sometimes when you have the same voice talking to you, you're unable to kind of go any higher or do something any different. But bringing in Zim changed the nature and the culture. That man's the alpha, not Mike McCarthy. Zim is the alpha in the room. So therefore, and everybody says, well, Dak hadn't won in the playoffs. Well, last I checked, it's a 53-man roster that has to play, right? But his Mahomes are comparable to Mahomes. His numbers are comparable to Mahomes in the regular season. Who wouldn't want that?
And in addition, and I'm sure Shan's going to give us grief when he comes on here in just a few minutes. He's a 49ers guy. His team's knocked us out of the playoffs, back-to-back years, but it's okay. Like he'll have it. He'll have his moment. But we're having our moment right now. I'm sure Shannon's loving this right now. But Dak had similar numbers to Lamar Jackson last year, and Lamar got favored for the MVP.
He had better numbers. Let's get that right. He had better numbers than Lamar.
He had better numbers. They were close in margin, but Dak, several categories he was better in. And they obviously favored Lamar Jackson. And I was like, hey, still second in MVP voting shows you how important Dak is to this team. In addition, Ahmad, what Tom Brady, the greatest quarterback of all time. I'm sorry, people are going to hate me for saying that. Dude has more Super Bowls than any NFL team has in history. It's wild. Tom Brady was praising Dak. And I feel like if you can't understand and listen to what Tom Brady has to say about the game, then I don't know how I help you.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers said it too. Aaron Rodgers said it. Aaron Rodgers said Dak is the best playing the quarterback position. There's a whole bunch of quarterbacks, and they do different things. But the actual quarterback position doing quarterback things, Dakota Rain Prescott's the guy. And I think he gets a lot of flack because of this. Okay. This on the side of his helmet is why he gets a lot of flack. Same reason that Tony Romo got a lot of flack, right? That same reason why Tony Romo got a lot of flack, the Cowboys quarterback. But Tony Romo was a good quarterback. And the year that Dez caught it should have been his Super Bowl year. That year, everybody goes back to Dez caught it. I talk about DeMarco Murray fumbling on the 5-yard line. That never happens. We win that game, right? So, yeah, man. Not to take over. I just, I get hyped when we start talking about Cowboys, man.
We get hyped, man. That's why you run a whole Cowboys network in partnership with Fans First. They do fantastic stuff. I write for them. I do Dad and the Boys. I was just on Giant Cleveland show this weekend, as were you, doing stuff with Fanatical Elves. We'll pull some strings. Might be able to get Giant Cleveland on the show. I need them to hit up my line real quick. See if we can get them on the show for tomorrow. But I think Dak did good. Trevor in the comments, Bray never play a snap where he was mathematically eliminated from playoff contention. He's the GOAT. Anyone who says otherwise is goofy. That's a Patriots guy right there. Obviously celebrating the big win yesterday. Max saying Aikman just shut them up with trophies. With the MVP conversation, there has been no Cowboys quarterback to win league MVP. So the fact that Dak came really close last year, I feel really good about it. Obviously, the Cowboys played the Browns yesterday. I have my own thoughts on just the Cleveland organization, but again, maybe we can get Giant Cleveland or somebody from Fanatical Elves to out of pocket maybe tomorrow or Thursday to kind of go over some of the stuff I want to say about Deshaun Watson. Want to get a Cleveland perspective on that. But Dak Prescott showed up. There was maybe 2 or 3 throws where I'm like, probably shouldn't have thrown that. That could have been intercepted. But overall, he felt comfortable. You've already said that Mike Zimmer's been the guy to change things for that Cowboys organization. How did you feel walking away from yesterday's game?
I felt excellent, man. And people are going to move the goalposts. Right? Just remember, it's not a lot of money to a player. It's an investment in the future. Absolutely. People are going to move the goalposts. That's what's going to happen. People move the goalposts and say, oh, well, it was just Cleveland, so you shouldn't get excited about that. But going into the game, most people, Dan Orlovsky, all these guys, 3-letter networks, were saying, hey, Cowboys are going to get ran. They're going down here to Cleveland. This powerful Cleveland defense is about to get them. Dak's not going to be able to do anything. First crack out the box. You see why we paid 88. You see why we paid number 4, right? You see why we brought Zeke back. Zeke, first of all, Zeke in pass pro was excellent. Excellent. I mean, he kept people off of Dak all night. Love it. And that's why and he scored 2 touchdowns. What's not to love about that, right? Then the second thing is the over-the-shoulder pass to CeeDee Lamb, one-hand catch. Impeccable. He shows you why he's one of those guys, right? And then last but not least, if you look at the defense and how active they were, everybody was on their spot. Everybody was on their job. Cleveland's not a bad team. We just made them look bad.
I don't know. There's definitely questions in Cleveland, but that defense was stout. Like they were really good on defense last year. You talk about being the number 1 defense on third down last year. Dallas being the number 2 offense on third down last year. Like there was definitely competition there, especially Myles Garrett against the rookie left tackle in his first game, Tyler Guyton. I thought did really well.
That happens to be my my childhood friend's son. He went to Austin LBJ. I'm in Austin, Texas. So I tell his dad Al all the time, man. Hey, look, I'm so happy that he ended up in either Cowboy. We've been Cowboy fans since we were in high school. So this is the love is real. The love is real.
Wow. So you've been familiar with Tyler Guyton for a while.
Right, absolutely. But and he the thing that's crazy to me, and this is why I say all the time that you don't understand. First and foremost, we know how to pick offensive linemen. We know how to pick them. It just is what it is. We're gonna find them. But this guy, Lane Johnson from the Eagles, said that he's gonna be light years better than him. First of all, this is his fourth year at that position. Fourth year. He started out as the tight end and a defensive tackle. He got recruited at Texas TCU to play defensive tackle. Then they moved him to tight end. Then they moved him to offensive tackle. And when he went to Oklahoma. So when I say he got great feet, great hands, he's 6'8". This is an agile kid. He played basketball in high school at Mena High School. So it's one of those kids that, hey, man, you knew they was going to be successful. I mean, Garrett Wilson. I've been watching Garrett Wilson since he's a kid. Garrett Wilson's one of my son's good friends from high school. So I've been watching these guys develop, and man, I just knew they were stars from the time I seen them.
Man, dude, that is awesome. I'm a little jealous talking to you about like Texas high school football. But I'm finally glad. We're going to be nice because Shane does a lot of stuff for Boom Broadcasting. Shane's a good friend of mine. He's a 49ers guy. We'll talk about the 49ers Jets coming up later tonight for Monday Night Football. Dude, it's going to be awesome. But we got to get into the rest of the NFL week. I'm going to welcome in from Quick Hits that airs Wednesdays, 9 a.m. He's done everything with me. I appreciate him. He's always super reliable, even if he's a 49ers and a UNC fan. But we'll welcome in Shannon right now. Shannon, I like the chain. You channeling your young rock right now.
You know, I thought about that for a minute. I was trying to pull the Nino Brown is what it was because
hey, you look good.
Appreciate that. Bro, I was trying to pull that because on Wednesday with Quick Hits, you'll understand why you'll see this again on Wednesday. You will.
Okay. I'm excited for it. Dude, again, comedic relief. I had to try to, handle the Tyreek Hill situation best I could. I felt like trying to do my own like out of pocket university, like an OPU, but dude, I couldn't do it as good as you do it on Wednesday mornings. Shannon, you and I have talked a lot about Bryce Young. We covered it a little bit yesterday when we were on the Gridiron Address with Aaron. By the way, super proud of him having his first show on Boom Broadcasting. Been a long time coming. He put a lot of work into it. He had a great idea, and it was fantastic. A lot of people have watched and supported and shared that video. So kudos. Thank you, guys. It was awesome to see him do that. But Shannon, we talked about Bryce Young, and we talked about some of the rookie quarterbacks and the guys who were taking over teams for the first time, like, second-year guy Will Levis. But we had rookies, Caleb Williams, come up with a win. Jay Daniels lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but he looked like a good quarterback. And especially what Ahmad was saying was, how quarterbacks have different skill sets and, play the game different ways. We saw glimpses from Jay Daniels yesterday. We did not see glimpses, or at least I didn't, from Bryce Young in that game against the Saints. Again, blown out. And I'm not going to rip the Panthers right now. I'm not going to rip Bryce Young. I know how it feels. Open the show today with the app Clemson score. So I understand. I'm not hating on Panthers fans. I know you do a Panther podcast that you've taken over. Appreciate you stepping in when my health was bad last year, and you and Ryan are going to run with it, and you're going to do awesome with the Cat Cave. But Shannon, I don't know, like yesterday, the way that Bryce Young just didn't look like he had taken a step from last season. What did you see when you were watching this game?
Like I said Sunday, I didn't even think about it when I went to bed and got back up this morning. I ain't seen no dog in there. He ain't the guy. And I hate to say it, I want to save it. I want to save all of this for the Cat Cave. We got to record it tomorrow, and it'll be coming up on Wednesday on the Tobacco Sports Network. But I will say that, like I said yesterday, I saw No Dog. He ain't the guy. Nice kid. Very nice kid. Like him. Very likable dude. But you just got to chunk it up to the fact that, some of these guys just are not good enough. And
Senate,
he's not it.
Senate, I have a question, man.
Go.
How much of this do you blame on the offensive line and the skill set, the skill players? I mean, they brought in some skill players, Xavier Leggett. What's my guy's name? The other wide receiver. Yeah. So, and then Jonathan Brooks at the running back. He won't be there for the next four weeks. But does he even have any skill players to work with and the offensive line in front of him?
That was the same thing that we talked about last year, and that team last year was dismal. I will say that. I wasn't saying this last year. I was saying give him time because he was getting eat up. That offensive line was eating him up. He didn't really have a lot of guys outside of Adam Thielen to throw the ball to, which was tough to do. But this year, the Panthers went out and spent money. They spent money on the line. They spent money on the defense. They had a good draft. The Panthers had a really good draft. But when I'm an eye test guy. I'm all about the eye test. There were times where Bryce was missing guys. Not good at all. I looked at all the quarterbacks from this week. Will Levis, Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams. Those guys were hitting guys. They were actually hitting guys. Danny Dimes is even hitting guys. And he's not better than Bryce Young. He is not. He was even hitting guys. And I'm just like, Kyler Murray was having okay numbers and all that. It's just that I just didn't see it. What I think is wrong with Bryce is that I think he tries to hit the home run every play, and he's got to relax. That's just one of those things. I think he's used to doing it by himself. He's got to get his feet set underneath him, and he's got to start out slow. He's got to make plays. I think that it's an expectation thing. I still don't think he's it. I hope I'm wrong. Like I said, I hope I'm wrong. I hope in week 5, the weeks to come, I hope I'm eating my words and I have to publicly apologize to him because I will. But as of right now, no.
I mean, I can slide in there and just point out the couple times you've been wrong. But again, being nice with you, you also own up to that. Shout out all the people watching right now. John, love you back. Appreciate you, bro. Max saying they gave away McCaffrey and more. And I would say this, Ahmad, they also traded a number 1 overall pick for a number 1 overall pick and then some. So that didn't even help their case either, that they didn't have a first round pick this year built in. Obviously, they traded up to get Xavier Leggett with the final pick of the first round, but they didn't have something stationary to build off of for this year.
Yeah. And I mean, there's some pieces. Even my guy from Texas, Jatavion Sanders, he's gonna be a piece, right? There's some pieces. I just wonder if the line just needs to settle. But I love what you said, Shannon. Love it, because honestly, Dak is just doing that. Dakota's just like the people will say, certain things about Dak. But what I saw at the end of the game yesterday is instead of him trying to press for stats, he took what the defense gave him and he got off the field. You know what I'm saying? It just was what it was. Our defense was playing good enough the way he didn't have to press. He didn't have to try to go over the top and do too much. But man, I was embarrassed for the Panthers yesterday. Super embarrassed.
It was hard to watch, man. I mean, I looked back over it. I had to look over it for our taping tomorrow. It was painful to watch. It really was. I'm like I said, I hope I'm wrong. And this is for everybody who says that Jerry Jones is not a good owner and a meddling owner. David Tepper is the worst owner in all of the NFL. He meddles more than Jerry Jones does, and he has put that team in disarray. I will say that he's a bum. So anybody who says anything about Jerry Jones, go see what David Tepper does and talk.
All right, we got a pro Jerry, or at least an anti-Tepper comment from Shannon today. So that's good. These other quarterbacks like Caleb Williams, Jade Daniels, guys who were taking over the team for the first time. Will Levis being one of those. Gardner Minshew, his new role in Vegas. Sam Darnold taking over for the injured J.J. McCarthy. Like there were several quarterbacks. Anthony Richardson coming back from injury, basically almost redshirted his first year in the league. Were there any of these guys, Ahmad, who stood out to you the most?
Well, it's Anthony Richardson. I've been telling everybody from conception, boy, gonna be a dog. It's a matter of time. and with Jonathan Taylor back, hey man, it's one of those things. And then in Minnesota, Sam Darnold, we may be seeing a resurgence. You know what I'm saying? It's maybe a resurgence. I don't know, right? The reason why I say that is that I mean, were they just that bad, or was Minnesota just that good? Like you got to ask yourself that question, right? But I think Sam Darnold can work with the tools that he has around him in front of him. So to me, those were the two that really stood out. Jaden Daniels getting his first touchdown, yay, hooray! Oh, I do have to say this: Caleb Williams will be okay. He'll be all right. He'll be all right, man. It's just you got to get your feet up under you. And the Chicago defense looked like they real this year.
Yeah, I mean, I'd agree. Chicago is my pick to win the NFC North. Mac remind everybody Darnold played the Giants, even though Mac said that the Giants would finish better in the NFC East than the Washington Commanders. So I'm gonna just throw that out there. Of course, we gotta do Dad and the Boys tomorrow, so he'll probably let me have it. Shan, I do want to hit you with that quarterback question. And here in a few minutes, we'll welcome in Nick to preview the 49ers-Jets game. Nick being a huge Jets guy, Shan being a huge 49ers guy. I'll be the referee in the middle, but kind of to the side as well. So that you got the quarterback question, but I also want you to answer Derek's question. This is why we do live streams. This is why we're live on Out of Pocket with Michael Davis, Boom Broadcasting 4 days a week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. If you're enjoying this, I know several of you texted your friends like, hey, here's this cool channel. Appreciate you guys showing some love, support. We crossed over 400 subs while we've been live today. We appreciate you if you're watching for the first time. But this is why we do live, so you guys can steer the conversation the way you guys want it steered and the way you're actually enjoying the stuff we're doing. Derek asking, what if McCaffrey was still in Carolina? They added a trusty receiver and tight end. Do you think that it would help Bryce to be a more decent quarterback? Shannon, along with the rookie quarterback question, do you think this is more of the tools around Bryce that the Panthers gave away?
If wishes and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas now, wouldn't we? I'm just playing. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I had to get that out of there. But I would say that it would make a difference. But as far as make them contenders, like probably contenders for the NFC South, because the NFC South is a very suspect conference. I mean, they're a very suspect division. Let's be honest. We don't know who's going to win it. It looks like New Orleans with the way they played Carolina, but it's Carolina. And then Atlanta had trouble with Pittsburgh, but Pittsburgh's got a defense. Pittsburgh's got a very good defense. Atlanta's getting new pieces in there. I still think Penix Jr. might make an appearance this year. I think he will. And Tampa Bay, I think, is probably going to repeat. They'll probably be the first repeat of the NFC South in a while. But it would make a difference. I think it would be better, but not very far. Not very much. Bryce has got to, and I don't think it's a skill set thing. I don't want to play into that, oh, he's too short to play quarterback thing. I don't think he is. It's just the scheme. It's like you've got to get the right scheme around him. He's a system quarterback. You have to get the right system. If he finds the right system, then maybe so. But it's not the fact of him being a bad quarterback. It's the fact of him having a system around him. It's like I told you yesterday, man. I think honestly he'd go UFL, get a few kinks, come back. That's what I think that would probably be his best bet. He's a good kid, and I want to be wrong again, but just I doubt it.
Well, it's been tough if you're a Panthers fan. Shan and Ryan cover it greatly on the Cat Cave. They're starting to get recognized now, getting invited to breweries, taste a couple beverages. But it's awesome. we're wrapping up here on this NFL segment, and we'll welcome Nick here in just a few minutes. But wanted to give you guys an opportunity to spotlight the entire league. Is there a certain game or a certain team that stood out to you from this Sunday that you were like, hey, they were a big winner, or they took that L just like in Fortnite, or 2K or Madden or College Football 25, whatever you want to play? I got you. I'll hand out that L. Is there any team in the NFL you're like, hey, they did great, hey, they did terrible? Mont, who do you want to spotlight?
Well, I mean, I got two in the NFC, and that's the Detroit Lions. They're going to be the Detroit Lions from last year. That's a good football team, and you better have your chin strap on and come prepared. And then with Jameson Williams being full strength, they got another deep threat with Amon St. Ra and Amon Brown St. Ra. They have another deep threat, and woo, Katie Bartador, and of course, Dallas Cowboys. I mean, we're real. This is a real team, and definitely Shannon. When we play out this year, I definitely want to be on your show. We can talk about it. But look, like I said, this is a real team. This is not. I'm getting off my soapbox with this. I promise. Here's the deal. Last year we were a really good offense, right? We lost nobody from that offense. Matter of fact, Brandon Cook's second year in this offense. So by osmosis, he's going to be better. We fixed the offensive line. We got two rookies who are playing really good. BB played excellent yesterday. Lights out. Guyton played really good. He only gave up one sack, right? And 13 attempts against Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett only had 4 pressures. Listen, played really good. So we fixed the offensive line, which will in turn fix the running game. So now that offense is better than they were last year. Flip on the other side. We got linebackers. We didn't have that last year. We had a safety playing linebacker, right? And we were feast or famine. The Cowboys were feast or famine they were not going to stop the run. Green Bay even said it themselves. Jordan Love said, hey, man, I'm going to tell you the truth. All we did was attack number 14. That's what we did. That was the game plan. Attack the safety that's playing linebacker. So now you can't do that. And on top of that, you have defensive linemen that are actually good. So we have some good defensive linemen, and you have linebackers who are running with their hair on fire, right? And then you have a Trayvon Diggs back, and you're going to have Deron Bland back mid-year. This is a solid defense. So the Cowboys, for real, man, are real contenders, along with the 49ers. I think the 49ers, the Lions, and the Cowboys are the teams to beat in the NFC. And the Eagles, they are little brothers. That is what that is.
Hey, that's I'm not going to say that's out of pocket. Shane, before we have Nick come in and debate the 49ers Jets game with you, is there a team who stands out to you, either winner or loser?
Well, besides the Panthers being a loser, I want to say that the Philadelphia Eagles were a squad that kind of surprised me. The fact that outside of Saquon Barkley, no one did a thing. And so it was really difficult to see that. I expected Philadelphia to do better against Green Bay, but they didn't. But this is only for a week by week, I would say. Philadelphia will get better. Do I think they'll win the NFC East? I doubt it. I think that Dallas will get it. I think that they will, because Philadelphia still has – I'm still not convinced with Jalen Hurts. And that was the other Alabama quarterback that we didn't think of right there, Mike, yesterday. We were talking about that on Sunday. We didn't think about him. But I would say that, Jalen Hurts still hasn't convinced me yet, because they buckled under pressure last year. And then later on this year, Saquon's going to be nice, but it's just that quarterback play is kind of suspect to me. A winner was Miami. Miami was a winner last year, was a winner for me this week. They did very, very well this week. And despite what happened with Tyreek Hill, but they came back in a comeback win with Jacksonville. But another winner to me was Indianapolis. I think, just like you said, Mon, I think Rich is going to be the dog. I really think he is. He threw the ball very well with confidence. He's got a good offense around John Taylor coming back. Pittman Jr. playing very well as a receiver. I think that Indianapolis might give a run to Houston. But Houston's tough. But Indianapolis will be on the upturn, I believe. I think that they might steal from Jacksonville this year. I think they just might. If they play as well as they do, they might steal some from Jacksonville. They might steal some from some of the other teams in the AFC South. They won't win it, but I think that they'll look better.
Now, what's funny right now is Max saying Kellen gonna be Kellen, and we're backstage still talking about Kellen Moore and how bad he is or how good he is, depending on what you think. We're going to let Nick in here. We're going to let Ahmad go. Ahmad, remind people where they can find you.
Yeah, definitely. You can catch me at the Know It Alls. That's KNOITALLZ, the Know It Alls podcast. You can find that on YouTube. Of course, we are on Spotify and all of the Apple podcasts, everywhere you find your podcast. Then, of course, we are DC4L, Cowboys Global Cast on FFSN. You can find me there. I also do the Longhorns podcast. So, it's called Horns and Sons, kind of like you and your dad. Me and my son, we talk about Longhorn football, and I'm really happy about that because, of course, we got the big win over Michigan. But, yeah, and then you can find me, of course, at Victorious52 on Instagram and at Victorious512 on X. Man, connect with me. We'll get it in. We'll talk about sports because I'm definitely doing it.
And he's a personable guy, too, because I literally just connected with him like 2 days ago, and he's already on Out of Pocket. Was happy to have you on, dude. Appreciate you. If you guys are enjoying this right now, be sure you go find him. Go find him on social media, chat with him, engage with him. He's doing really good stuff. Obviously, go Cowboys, and this won't be your last appearance.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for having me. Shannon, I look forward to tapping in with you soon.
All right, sounds good, man. You take it easy. Take
care.
We're going to let Ahmad go, but we have putting in his place. We got a Jets guy, and yes, I had to seek far and wide for one of those. But he's also a Charlotte Hornets guy, so he loves misery apparently. But he's one of my good friends. Now I mentioned Shannon taking over the cat cave when my health got bad. This is one of the people who I've never met in person, but instantly connected with. And to this day, he will text me randomly and just say, "How are you doing?" He's replaced that with the spoilers he used to send me, but hopefully that's a good enough introduction. I am proud to have it. Welcome Nicholas Mullick into the show. Nick, you excited for tonight's game?
No. First off, it's great to see you again. Really is. And yes, I have put a few dollar bills in the jar. My bad for the spoiler. I gotta say, entering the season as a Jets fan, I'm coming in with no expectations. None whatsoever. I learned my lesson last year. I did. And I think a big concern I have with this Jets team is I think the coach is terrible. We have the worst head coach in the league. I don't like the GM at all, especially with this Hassan Reddick nonsense. Why are you trading a third-round pick for a guy who was out there saying, "Oh, we're holding out"? Like, what? Frustrating. Frustrating. And let me just say one thing about this game. We're gonna get killed in this game. Like, the Niners are better in every single way. I mean, seriously, they are. And as a Jets fan, I'm coming in with no expectations. Like 40.
Well, dude, your internet cut out right when you said the score. Shannon, I thought we were going to have a debate. It doesn't look like we're getting a debate now, Shannon. What's up now?
Well, I'm glad it's not just one of us that feels this way, because I wasn't going to even go into I wasn't even going to go to the Hassan Reddick thing. I wasn't going to go through that. I wasn't going to go to the coach, any of that other stuff.
The coach is the problem. He's the problem.
I mean,
you're right. Well, technically the problem is the owner, but not getting into that. But I'm telling you, I'm nervous with Aaron Rodgers because coming off an Achilles injury, even if it's like a sprain, even if it's just like a bruise, even if it's just like a small, tiny little 1-inch cut, it's brutal. It is. And I don't know about him. And I don't even know about the backup either. I don't know. Because I like Tyrod, but he could get hurt too. And who we got left third string? Jordan Travis, who probably isn't going to play again? We'll be stuck with Tim Boyle again throwing the ball. But this defense better show up. I think it will, but if it doesn't, I won't be shocked because against the Niners, they're my pick to win the Super Bowl this year. They are. They're that good. And I'm terrified. I'm terrified this is going to be a disaster.
And he hit this with the disaster. Ahmad
Sorry,
got
I'm a
out.
New Yorker. You'll probably understand that I'm a New Yorker who's a Jets fan, a Jaguars fan, a Charlotte Hornets fan, and roots for all these low-ranking teams.
Dude, I'm telling you, you love to do this to yourself.
I don't love to do this to myself. At least I'm a Yankee fan.
You say, dude, I don't know anyone outside of North Carolina who likes the Hornets. But, dude, more power to you. Ahmad actually is picking the Jets to win tonight. Chris saying Jets are going to be much improved, but the 49ers just have so much more. Also, Chris, unfortunately, have to break the news that for our out-of-pocket picks that we did on Friday, it came down to the Rams-Lions game last night. Chris went with me with the Rams. Wayne went with the Lions. Wayne actually won Out of Pocket's first week of NFL predictions. Shout out to Wayne, who debuts his show, Sideline Savant, on Wednesday. And Chris says come October, Nick, you'll be in the same boat for baseball.
God. Oh, Chris, you're on my bad list now.
Nick said you just made the list.
Oh, yeah, you're on my Chris Jericho list. Yeah, like Joe Douglas is on there, and Robert Sala's on there, and no, honestly, I'm sorry, what did you say?
He was a former 49er. Robert Saleh was. He was a good coordinator, not a good head coach.
Nope, not a good head coach. And let me tell you another thing about the offensive coordinator. Nathaniel Hackett is worse than his own father at coaching. He's that bad of an offensive coordinator. He's a terrible head coach. He's probably the worst head coach in Denver Broncos history. He's terrible. He really is.
Guys, I'm trying to get through this.
What?
Oh, me and Nick just cut up all the time. So I was like, it's going to be me, Nick, Shannon. I expected to just lose it. And you guys are definitely helping with the comments right now. Rick 8-Bit saying, can't say New York baseball without Choketober. Booking like Mark. Also, really good wrestling page you guys can follow. They won 100 on a 3-leg parlay in the Cowboys game yesterday. Anyone have any good betting tips for tonight's game? I am not your guy. I would do terrible betting on games. I can't even predict games right. Oh, but by the way, I won Polly's Pick'em 6-0 this past week. Shout out Derek Polly. I don't know how I can't predict games, but just a casual like, hey, yes, no. I got 6 of 6 right. I don't know how that works. I'm not saying Garrett will have 100 night. Brees will have 100. Aaron with 205. And Tuddy. Nick, I'm worried because I know you're not optimistic about Jets right now, but Brees getting 100 against this 49ers team, I don't think booking like a Mark can get that.
I agree. I love Brees Hall. I really do. I hope he scores, not only because he's on like half my fantasy teams, but I just want to see some productivity on the offense and just knowing how good this run game is. Them maybe lessening the blowout this game is going to be will put a smile to my face, but I don't know where they go from here. And that O-line better be improved. And I like that we got John Simpson and Morgan Moses on the O-line now. Look at how bad Baltimore's O-line was on Thursday.
Yeah.
And it's because of the loss of Morgan Moses and John Simpson. I don't know what's going on with Baltimore, but that's a different story for a different time. But my team, the one thing I will give them is their special teams is elite. We have the best kicker, I think, in the division. We have the best punter in the league. I mean, you could maybe argue me on that, but Thomas Morstead's great. He really is. And shout out to him for what he does off the field, too. Amazing stuff. But let me say another thing about the Jets, and it's something that I'm nervous about. Can Will McDonald please step up? I saw nothing but failure last season. He didn't shine once. It's no more excuses. None. Because with Hassan Reddick, whatever's going on here, they should trade him for a pick swap at this point. What a complete waste of time that was. But Will McDonald, I want to see him step up. And people are like, oh, but Trent Williams is back. Oh, the 49ers offensive line is good. Doesn't matter. It's year 2. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, and we're getting comments on our games. Rick 8-Bit saying Ravens run offense will fix itself against Raiders. If J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards,
that's a surprise.
Yeah, if Dobbins and Edwards, two injury-prone guys who played for Baltimore the last couple of years, and when I say played, I mean rode the bench because they were hurt. If they can have a good game against the Raiders defense, then of course it can happen elsewhere. Shannon, we're closing in our last couple minutes of Out of Pocket. But, wanted to get an official score prediction from you and a key point to this game.
Man, I don't know if I need to say anything else because I pretty much echoed a lot of things I said and then some. But the main thing that I'm looking at here is what can Aaron Rodgers do? Like I said on the Gridiron Address on Sunday, 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers on a bad leg. It's hard getting up at 40 years old with aches and pains than it is a 21-year-old, 25, 30 even. It's tough to do. I'm 38, so I get it. But that's going to be my thing. They're putting their offense in Aaron Rodgers' hands. I get it. Aaron Rodgers is great. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. Aaron Rodgers has done wonderful, played great quarterback, has great quarterback skills. I get it. But I think it's what Des said last year on Out of Pocket. I think people fall in love with names. I think they do. And this is just something I feel like is going on. I think they're falling in love with Aaron Rodgers. Will I think the Jets get destroyed? Not really. I think that they'll probably lose by 10. Because the reason why I say that is because one of the things that you did talk about, Nick, is Breece Hall. One thing that the 49ers have not done consistently on defense is stop the run. There have been times where the big running games have beaten my 49ers down. So it's important that we stop the running game. They're going to give the ball. They're going to steady diet it to Breece Hall. They're going to until Aaron Rodgers can get his feet underneath him and pass the ball. That's going to be a big thing for them. I want to see Sauce versus Brandon Ayuk, our newly signed contract Brandon Ayuk right here. I want to see if he's worth the money that we're giving him. This is going to be a spot shadow year for Brandon Ayuk because he's going to have more eyes on him. Considering the fact he's making more money than any of the receivers on the 49ers right now. Brandon Ayuk is very talented. I'm glad he's back. I'm glad it's over. Thank God. With that being said, I still think that Deebo Samuel is the number one as a receiver on this squad. I think he is. I'm a little worried about CMC. He's banged up a little bit. So I don't expect the running game to be a big feature. Like, I expect it to be a feature, but it's not going to be the end-all be-all for the 49ers. They're going to have Brock throw the ball. They're going to find ways to get CMC to be a scat back, so to speak, in the passing game. So it's going to be something. You've got about 4 or 5 guys that you've got to look at, and let's hope that the Jets have enough eyes to look at who's going to get the ball because you still got to look at George Kittle being underneath. You still have to look at that. On the defensive side of the ball, my guys have got a pass rush. They got to get hands in Aaron Rodgers' face. They can do that. Greenlaw will be back. Hufanga is back from injury. 7-8 men in the box. They can do that. San Francisco can put 7-8 men in the box and get to the quarterback. So this is what it's going to be. But I will say this. I do expect I'm going to say 11-point win. I'm going to say 27. I'm going to say 28-17 is going to be your winner. Bang, bang, Niner gang.
I hope that they lose by that many points, but no, I think the Niners dominate here. I think this is going to be like a 21-point win. Would it shock me if it is closer? No, but I think we're going to get destroyed here. We are. I don't see it. I don't see how this Jets team is going to get past this juggernaut of a NFC team. I just don't see it. But time will tell. We'll see what happens if I'll be in stage 1 happiness or stage 10 upsetness, like I kind of been the past 10 years. So we'll see.
Well, it's awesome. Shane picking Niners, Nicholas picking Niners, Ahmad picking Jets 28-21. Also, Ahmad, awesome having you on. We gotta get more. Of you on Out of Pocket, more on Boom Broadcasting, especially as fellow Cowboy content creators, guys working with Fans First Sports Network. Would love to have you back on. So the invitation is open anytime, my friend, anytime. With this game, I just am so worried about Aaron Rodgers' health. I'm worried about Tyron Smith's health. If either of those two guys go down, if they can't establish a run game, it's going to be a really long night for the Jets. People may want to tune in to Monday Night Raw instead. They may want to tune into the Nightcap tonight, Mouth Off with Mike hosts, immediately following Monday Night Raw, because this game is going to be 38-3 49ers.
Oh, God.
I'm sorry, Nicholas.
Listen, I understand this Jets team's the most overhyped team ever, and they haven't proven a single thing at all. They haven't. Not with this coach, not with this quarterback, and not with this offensive coordinator. Nothing. This defense, yes, maybe. But this offense, nothing. And I love Garrett Wilson, I love Breece Hall, but I will believe it when I see it. And I get the reasoning why people are picking the Jets to win this game, especially with last season, how week 1 happened and how prepped they were and how hyped they were. But this is not the Buffalo Bills who came into that game unprepared. 49ers are prepared, they're more talented, and they got competence everywhere. I mean, look at how they handled Ayuk's contract. Like, where's that with Hassan Reddick? Where's that?
That's a
disgrace.
Michael Davis. I hate to say I told you so.
All right. We're overrun.
Put me in the face when I talk to you. What did I
Shannon, what would you like to tell me?
What did I tell you? What did I tell you?
Okay. Are we good? Can we stop making eye contact now?
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Oh, I didn't notice you guys were looking at each other on the screen. That's I didn't notice that till now.
Nicholas just
that's so funny.
Oh man,
Nicholas just helped us with the spot on. Oh, y'all are.
I felt like Alfred Hitchcock right there. Good evening.
Well, Shannon, it's been awesome having you. Nicholas, also awesome having you. We have been awesome. We do, guys. We got to end the stream. I got to go home. Got to hang out with the fam. Got to watch Raw. Got to hop on Nightcap. Maybe I don't even know if I have an invite tonight. My phone hasn't blown up with Mouth Off with Mike. So we'll see if I'm invited back onto the Nightcap. We'll see. Dude, it's been fantastic. Thank you, Ahmad from the Cowboys Global Cast. Nicholas, you got anything people need to be watching out for from you?
Yeah, so I'm on Twitter. You can see my @ symbol down there. I don't know if it's down here or down here, or down there. I don't know. But I'm on Twitter. I'm writing on Stadium Rant. I have a new podcast called Ringside Rant, which focuses on pro wrestling. I'm live on Thursdays at 8:30 on Stadium Rant's YouTube channel. Don't forget to check that out. And I'll guess I'll announce here, I am opening up a Facebook as well, so you'll see me on Facebook soon. So keep an eye out on that, and hopefully the Jets don't embarrass me. But I'm expecting the worst and expecting little.
I've been asking him to do Facebook and Instagram, all the things. Nicholas, appreciate you having you on, man. You're welcome anytime. Glad to have you on. Shannon, where can they find you? I already told them about Quick Hits on Wednesday.
Catch me in the Cat Cave on Wednesdays. We'll either be Wednesday or Thursday, depending on when my partner's stand-up comedy career shoots off. We have to tape tomorrow, so we'll be on for Wednesday. Next week, we'll be talking about this week one debacle that we just had and our wonderful time this Saturday when we were at Southern Distilling Company. We'll be talking about that as well, too. Then, of course, 9 a.m. Boom Broadcasting. You know what it is. I'm Shannon Smith, and this is Quick Hits.
Well, Shan, it's awesome having you on. I'm rooting for the Jets, but best of luck to your Niners. Praying for a good game, safe game for all the players, especially Aaron Rodgers going up against that 49ers defense. Guys, this has been Out of Pocket. We started the show by myself. We're in it by myself. I let my guests go a tad bit early. One, say shout out to everybody who listened and watched, and the two people who reached out to their buddies and got new subscribers for Boom Broadcasting. Guys like Shannon, Wayne, Chris, Mouthed It Off with Mike, Carson, Aaron, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. I swear, Sean, like there's too many. We're missed somebody. I think we have like 19 episodes this week. So if you guys enjoyed this, I want to ask you guys a favor. Text a friend, text one or two friends, say, hey, this channel just crossed 400. They're doing really good content that I'm enjoying. I'd love for you guys to help support, not me, but the rest of the team, because they're helping build something, and I really appreciate their hard work. But guys, this has been Out of Pocket. Tune into the Nightcap tonight, following Monday Night Raw, to talk some graps, yap with the graps with the Mouth Off with a mic. Out of Pocket will be back tomorrow, 5:30, 6:30 Eastern. And also got some notifications that not only will we have the guy debuting Dugout Debrief, Chris, on tomorrow's episode, but we will also have, for the first time ever, Johnny Cleveland. We got Johnny Cleveland. That's just announced. Fanatical L's Network. He'll be on tomorrow. I got some big opinions on Deshaun Watson and his body language and how he handled Week 1's game against the Dallas Cowboys, and we'll talk with a Cleveland Browns fan for that. But I'm Michael Davis. This has been the Out of Pocket on Boom Broadcasting, and we will catch you guys here tomorrow.
Well, that's it. I really hope you enjoyed it. We had a ball making it. Thank you very much.